What is the purpose of fashion? When you put an outfit together, what goes on in your mind? Fashion is a form of self-expression, but it is inherently visual and sends signals to the world around us. I think the clothes we wear speak a lot about ourselves, whether intentional or not. It can express how we feel, how we live, and how we want to connect with others. So what happens when we feel like we don't fit in? When we feel like a misfit? When what we wear feels too much, too abrasive, too unique, too odd? Today, I want to look at 3 TV shows that capture this idea of finding solace in standing out. Not fitting in can sometimes feel quite isolating, but fashion can empower us to embrace our quirks and individuality. And in these TV shows, the characters are often seen as odd, even defiant, but instead of choosing to conform, their uniqueness becomes a source of strength, and they even find community by being themselves. Before the video starts, I just want to say a really big thank you to everyone who has supported this channel so far. I'm so eternally grateful for each and every single one of you. I cannot believe that the channel has reached 1,000 subscribers. It genuinely means the world to me, and I'm so excited to keep creating more for you. Thank you. First up, we have Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. This is a sitcom that follows June Colburn, a hopeful but naive girl who moves from Indiana to New York City to pursue her dream job, until she suddenly gets retrenched. She ends up moving in with a party girl named Chloe, and the series follows their relationship and life and the random side quests they go on. It is quite an absurd show, but I find it so funny. Though Chloe and June have such drastically different personalities, their dynamic works and they complement each other really well as friends. June's style consists of blazers, dress skirts, and cardigans, a mix of corporate and grandmotherly outfits. There is something charming about her sense of style with its softness and simplicity. She represents conformity both in her people-pleasing tendencies as well as her structured outfits. For her, fashion is a way for her to fit in. On the other hand, we have Chloe, whose style I resonate the most with. She wears trench coats, leather jackets, and leopard print. She's often in bold, dark colors and dramatic prints, which suits her wild and unpredictable nature. Her style speaks to her unique personality, and she stands out in any room she's in. A recurrent theme in this show is how Chloe feels like she doesn't need relationships, and her erratic behavior is a way for her to protect herself from needing anyone. And as the series progresses, we see how her view on relationships change, especially after becoming roommates with June. On a slightly unrelated note, I want to mention how stacked the cast is in this show, which includes James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek and Eric Andre from The Eric Andre Show. It seems that the best shows are always the ones that are cancelled prematurely, and this show is no exception. It only has 2 seasons, but I love the offbeat humor and style in the show and how it never loses its heart. This is another comfort show of mine and one I often find myself returning to.
Chloe, I can't party. We still don't have anything in common. Look, we don't have to have anything in common, okay? We're friends. Whatever. I can see. That is so much better.
Next up, we have Wayne. This is an action comedy that follows a 16-year-old delinquent who meets a girl named Delilah, also known as Del, and they both set out on a road trip from Boston to Florida to retrieve his late father's stolen car. Wayne and Del are outcasts, both coming from abusive households and ostracized in school. Watching the relationship dynamic between Wayne and Del was one of my favorite parts of the show because he is socially awkward and she is very blunt, even aggressive at times, which makes for very entertaining interactions. I actually found the show through a TikTok edit of the two of them interacting, which I think is so cute. And in terms of fashion, Wayne wears this very specific military jacket with a shark patch on the back of it for most of the show. His clothes are all very practical with pocket shirts, grey pullover hoodies. I personally really love Delle's outfits, especially this one leopard print hoodie that she wears. She is very hyper independent and has a very tough exterior with her brown bomber jacket and gravitating towards more dark colors. Both characters seem aggressive and even violent sometimes, but at their core they are empathetic people looking for connection. I think this makes their characters very compelling and sympathetic to watch, even though they are flawed and you are always rooting for them. You can find the series on YouTube and I highly recommend it if you like dark teen comedies.
Trying to break into my house?
No. No.
Just busting your balls.
Lastly, we have Freaks and Geeks, an American teen comedy drama set in a suburban high school near Detroit during the 1980s. It follows the Weirs, a brother and sister duo, Lindsay, a freak, and Sam, a geek, and their group of misfit friends. All the characters struggle with this same feeling of both wanting to fit in and to disappear. In a high snobriety interview with the costume designer for the show, Deborah Maguire, she explains, "It's an identity piece for all young people who have some sense of rebellion, and I think that's really powerful." One piece I remember being obsessed with is Lindsay's dark green Vietnam War era military jacket. As a character, Lindsay exists between two worlds, one where she is part of the freak scene, forever chain smoking outside the cafeteria, and the second one being an academically driven straight A student. She is smart and knows to play by the rules, but is attracted to people who go against the grain. I think the army jacket is a form of armor and protection that she wears, and also a manifestation of that rebellious streak in her. It is something she wears consistently throughout the show, so it becomes part of her identity as well. One thing I like about the show is that none of the outfits are made up of pieces that are branded. They are all secondhand and thrifted, which adds so much character to the clothing and the authenticity and commitment to the time period as well. Another thing I find interesting is that Deborah mentions she personally found the clothes too Midwest and out of style, but when she brought it to the cast, they all loved it because they had never seen clothes like that before. This just shows how much of fashion and trends are very much psychological, and something that seems outdated to one person may look fresh and even new to other people. I really enjoy TV shows that are about people just living their lives. It doesn't have to have strictly a plot, and I feel this show captures the chaos and conflict that comes with living life as a teenager very well. Again, it got cancelled after one season, which seems to be a trend in a lot of the shows I enjoy and recommend.
Sorry.
Man, I hate high school.
Most of the time, carving out our own sense of style can feel like a form of liberation and a way to announce to the world that we are unique, but that can be a form of compliance in its own way because we are still asking others to see us as different. And because of the visual nature of fashion, inevitably it is for others to see and look at. And through what we choose to wear, we are sending signals to the people around us. There's just no way around that. So there will always be this need for validation that comes with caring about fashion. I think it is from knowing that this tension exists that we can reflect on our own choices in fashion, and that tension makes fashion more interesting and fun. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to share any TV show or movie recommendations, and if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I hope you had fun or learned something today. Bye!
Bye!